Good afternoon aspirants, welcome to Crack Grade B to another session of PIB. My name is Archana Deswal and I will take your PIB sessions now. So I will guide you better for the exams for NABARD, RBI and other exams of regulatory bodies. So last time we have covered the news till here, okay, till Ayushman Bharat. So I have given you 3 questions in homework. One was whether tenant farmers are eligible for PM Kisan or not. Second is one other exception which is not eligible under PM Kisan, and third is about the Global Biofuel Alliance. What was that? What are the countries involved in Biofuel Alliance? First of all, tell me, am I audible and visible? Yes guys, am I audible and visible? Okay, so let's start. First, let me tell you about what was that. Under PM Kisan, see, only one candidate answered this question, but not 100%, only 90%. Like first, tenant farmers are not eligible, okay, under this scheme. They are not eligible. Second, micro land holdings. Micro land holders. So holdings which are not cultivable are not eligible under the scheme. These two were also there under the exclusions, okay. And next question. So coming on to the slide. Next is 5 years of Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana and 2 years of Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. So Ayushman Bharat was a national health mission which was proudly lauded by various international organizations. What was special about that? That it is the world's largest health scheme and it covers It covers 40%, bottom 40% of poor families as per census, socio and economic caste census 2011. As per this census, eligibility criteria of the families were done, whether they are eligible or they fall under the bottom 40 or not. Next is rupees 5 lakh per family has been given for the healthcare, and approximately 11 crore families benefited till now. Now if you read newspaper, there was one news that there are suspicious transactions in Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. So a new unit, that is anti-fraud unit, National Anti-Fraud Unit under Ayushman Bharat has been launched. What does that unit do? They track the malicious and suspicious transactions which can be fraud using artificial intelligence and machine learning. They track those transactions, and more than 210 hospitals have been depaneled. So it was a huge step by government by depenalizing hospital. So this was a 2-day long Arogya Manthan which was held at विज्ञान भवन न्यू दिल्ली। ओके, इफेक्टिव इम्प्लीमेंटेशन क्या था इसका एजेंडा की जो आयुष्मान भारत है कितनी इफेक्टिवली इम्प्लीमेंट हुआ है, कितनी फैमिलीज को बेनिफिट हुआ है, दैट विल बी डिस्कस्ड हियर इन दिस 2-day मैराथन। ओके, दैट इज इक्विटी सर्विस डिलीवरी, एफिशिएंट ग्रीवेंस रिड्रेसल and highest number of treatments. Now various states have performed well under these categories. So you have to remember these states from exam point of view. This is important, as any scheme which has completed 5 years makes itself a very important question for the exam, whether it is phase 1 or phase 2. And for those who want phase 1 and 2 segregated, from now I will take phase 1 and 2 in separate pages, like I will be focusing more on 2 and I will keep phase 1 news in the 1 section. Okay. So the highest number of treatments, the award is given to Kerala, Meghalaya and Puducherry. Okay, these 3 states have won highest number of treatments award. Okay, in gender equity in service delivery. What is gender equity in service delivery? That services is given with being fair to the gender, whether it is a man or woman, they are treated equally and there is equity in services. Okay, so under this category Karnataka, Meghalaya and Jammu and Kashmir won the award. And under the award for the facility that generated the greatest number of Aabha scan. What is Aabha scan? The QR code based OPD registration. So Aabha scan is a 14-digit code. What it does? When you go to a doctor, you tell him your entire medical history, है ना? आप पूरा बताते हैं क्या बीमारी हुई थी, कब हुई थी, किस डॉक्टर को दिखाया था. Whenever you visit to a new doctor, you have to repeat the whole scenario to him. So Aabha scan makes this easier. How? When a patient scan this QR code, which is a 14-digit unique code, the entire medical history of the patient will be shared with the doctor and hospital, and so there is no need to tell him what is your medical history, what tests are being done and what you are being diagnosed with. So they do not have to repeat again and again with every doctor. Let's see some statistics. So under this 5.59 crore hospital admissions count. Okay, means 5.59 crore hospital admissions were done and hospital admission amount is 69k. You can remember it approximately because this amount will not be asked in exam, but you should have approximate idea like what progress has been made till now under the scheme. Okay, 59% tertiary care hospitalization by amount, 7.53 lakh. This is 7.53 lakh portability cases. Now what is portability case? A portability case is that case in which a patient is registered in one state and they can avail their medical services under this scheme in another state. So this is called the case of portability. 48% hospitalization is for women. इतने हॉस्पिटल्स एम्पैनल्ड हैं, इतने करोड़ आयुष्मान कार्ड्स इशू हो चुके हैं और कितनी फैमिलीज हैं? 9.30 करोड़. ओके, कमिंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट डेटा, इम्पैक्टिंग लाइव्स एवरी मिनट. Good afternoon, Kajal. Welcome to the session. Impacting lives every minute. आयुष्मान भारत बेनिफिशरीज पर मिनट कितनी है? 177. ट्रीटमेंट पर मिनट इज 30 इन हॉस्पिटल एडमिशन. 8 हॉस्पिटल एम्पैनल पर डे. अवेयरनेस 3307 calls. 3307 calls are made per day to make people aware about the scheme. Okay, and 584 grievance resolved every day. इतनी complaints resolve होती हैं, इतने calls होती हैं per day per day hospital panel इतने हैं, hospital admission per minute is 30 and beneficiaries per minute is 177. No need to remember this data, I am saying again, but you should have approximate idea like what is the growth or what is being done under the scheme. Next news is Bangalore tackles plastic menace. Like you all know, taking out plastic from our environment is a daunting task right now. So Bangalore has taken an initiative. What is that? There were very huge number of coconut water, okay, coconut water sellers. So what they do, they use plastic straws when they give coconut water to their customers. So the idea behind this is that they launched a no straw nariyal challenge. Now what is this challenge? That consumers should bring their own cup, because straws are made of plastic and it is not good for the environment. So replacing straws with our own cup. So creating a concept of bring your own cup. It was volunteered by Indian Plogman and Cupman. It is an NGO and participants of the Brihat Bengaluru Mahanagar Palika. What is BBMP? BBMP is a task force that is ready to take part in every task like which is related to the environment, cleanliness. So it is basically a force that takes challenges, involves in every environmental activity in Bengaluru, any cleanliness drive, etc. Okay, they are basically multitasker for the state. Next is Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, that is Union Minister of Natural Gas and Petroleum, Puri flags off first green hydrogen. First, please remember this, that this is the first green hydrogen fuel cell bus from Kartavya Path, New Delhi. So this news becomes very important. Why? First of all, this is the first fuel cell bus. So the launch of world's first, this is world's first Bharat Stage 6 Stage 2 electric flex fuel vehicle prototype. Now what is a flex fuel? See, flex fuel is a fuel that has an internal combustion in which up to 83% it can be mixed with either gasoline or ethanol, okay, up to 83%. That is what we call flex fuel. 83% तक कर सकते हैं, okay, and that encompassed both the flex fuel engine as well as an electric power train that offers higher use of ethanol combined with better fuel efficiencies. पहली बात, fuel cells होते क्या हैं? See, it is a technology in which hydrogen and oxygen goes through an electrolysis electrochemical reaction in which the byproduct is water. No need to go into science, but just to make you remember things, I explain a bit so that it will settle in your mind. So water is a byproduct of this reaction and that makes it feasible. This is what we call green hydrogen. Okay. So with this news, green hydrogen mission becomes very important, right? What are the targets of India under green hydrogen mission? See, our country is focusing so much on the sidelines of G20 especially, like Global Biofuel Alliance. It is continuously focusing on India's target and ethanol blending targets, which is 20% by 2025. Currently, ethanol blending is now updated to 11%. In country, ethanol blending is 11% and our target is to achieve 20% by 2025. Okay. So, India has set its sight to becoming energy independent by 2047. India wants to become energy independent, like 40% of India's energy is through fuels only, and it is trying to become independent in energy by 2047, and net zero emission target is by 2070. So it is a critical, so green hydrogen plays a critical role. So if we want to achieve these targets like net zero emission by 2070 and want to become energy independent by 2047, then green hydrogen is very important. So that's why government is focusing so much here, because burden is huge on the exchequer if we talk about the import of petroleum. Okay, so to reduce this burden, it is important to do more research work in green hydrogen and adapt with it very quickly. The fuel cell utilizes hydrogen and air to generate electricity power bus, and the only byproduct from the bus is water. This I have already explained to you. And India is currently, this is what I have already told you, that primary energy requirement जो है इंडिया की 40% क्या है, import करता है वो. So कितना burden है on the exchequer is $90 billion every year. This is huge. Okay, and major sectors like mobility and industrial production are significantly dependent on imported fossil fuel. So as major sectors are very dependent on the fossil fuels, and also we are moving towards the green energy, so a balance need to be there by in this transition from fossil fuel to green energy, and also imports are high. So more attention is required by the country in this area. Now phase 2 of the Amazon Future Engineers program for EMRSs. National Education Society for Tribal Students. So this phase 2 has been launched under the NIST, which is headquartered in New Delhi. This is basically an autonomous organization under Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Okay. So phase 2, what is this Amazon Future Engineer program? Basically it is a computer science program that aims to bridge the gap that computer science or technology is not there with the underserved or unserved category like scheduled tribes and underserved people in the especially this 6 state, that is Andhra Pradesh, गुजरात, मध्य प्रदेश, ओडिशा, राजस्थान. सो यहाँ पे जो 54 एकलव्य मॉडल रेजिडेंशियल स्कूल स्टैब्लिश हुए हैं, इनमें फेज 2 लॉन्च किया है अमेजॉन ने. नाउ व्हाट सेकेंड फेज इंक्लूड्स? दिस इंक्लूड्स एडवांस ब्लॉक प्रोग्रामिंग एंड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस करिकुलम. Advanced block programming is a type of drop-in-drag system. It is a drop-in-drag process in which a text is converted to a code. Okay, this is one thing. And in artificial intelligence curriculum, machine learning has been taught. Like there is a machine learning and technologies related to computer programming is there in the curriculum. Now with this, what becomes important? Eklavya Model Residential School. Eklavya Model Residential School is a scheme for making model residential school for an Indian tribals. The launch year of the scheme was 1997-98 and this follows CBSE curriculum. It is a central sector scheme, that is entire funding is given by the center. And there is a admission for 6th to 12th class. Okay. Now every class will have 60 students divided into 2 sections. Each section will consist of 30 students and total strength of the class will be, total strength of the students will be 480. So in senior secondary level, there will be 3 streams available under this scheme, that is science, humanities and commerce. Okay. Now there is also reservation for sports quota, that is 20%, and funding will be 100% grant in aid by Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So all the static data about Eklavya Model Residential School is very important. So revise it properly. Coming on to the news of 26th September. Dada Saheb Phalke Lifetime Achievement Award, Wahida Rahman. See, this is important for phase 1. This is not important for phase 2. So, this award was first given in 1969 to Devika Rani. Just a background to Devika Rani. And this is the 53rd Dada Saheb Phalke Award achievement, which is given to Wahida Rahman. She is also an actress. And last time it was given to Asha Parekh, है ना? Last time it was given to Asha Parekh. This award has been given at the 69th National Film Festival Award, which was held in Delhi. Okay, this is for phase 1. Now highlights of PM's visit to Gujarat. See, some news are important for phase 1, like this one, but the scheme mentioned under that visit is very important. So any scheme if mentioned with the PM's visit, I will take it in phase 2. So this budget that various projects has been launched in Gujarat, Chota Udaipur, 5200 crore. This information can be asked in phase 1. What can be asked in phase 2? Mission Schools of Excellence, Vidya Samiksha Kendra. It can also be asked in phase 1 that what PM Modi, our Honorable Prime Minister, has done in what scheme and how much amount has been allocated to these two schemes. So these schemes are important to remember. First one is Mission School of Excellence. इसका बजट है 10,000 crore. Okay, I think crore is missing. 10,000 crore, and it is partially supported by World Bank. Any scheme which is supported by World Bank makes it in itself very important. Okay, what is the aim of the scheme? Strengthening the education infrastructure in the state of Gujarat. Under first phase, school infrastructure project worth 5567 crore will be undertaken. So basically it aims at strengthening the education infrastructure. Okay, so they are focusing on infrastructure, like what can be done to strengthen the structure, what changes can be made. Next is Vidya Samiksha Kendra 2.0. So it is a surveillance system. Now this is an infrastructure system, this is a surveillance system under which the outcomes, dropouts, and what are the outcomes of the mission, and attendance कैसा है, enrollment कैसा है, cluster resources क्या कर रहे हैं, what is being done at the block level. So it is a surveillance, like what is going on under the scheme. So it is a surveillance and it is an infrastructure scheme. Nothing more in this. I don't find any other thing important. This is also for phase 1. I have given this separately in the PDF. Okay, phase 1 and phase 2 segregated. Now a mega national event named Shakti 2023. Shakti. This is the full form of Shakti. Now this full form is too long, so the chances are less that acronym will be asked. So just remember this, that a mega event related to Shakti. Event focuses on role of women in technologies. So where it was held, what was the theme, and you can just read a full form of this acronym just once or twice. Okay, no need to mug up. Now it is organized by Indian Society of Heating, Refrigerating and Air Conditioning Engineers. and Indian Women Scientist Association. And theme is Women in Technological Advances and Social Upliftment. See, there is no requirement of explaining this in detail, so it is a fact that you need to read and memorize. Okay, so theme is important, organized by whom, the event was focused on what, and what is the name of the event. Coming on to the next news. Is everything clear till now in the lecture? Are you getting everything? Yes, ma'am. Okay, good. So the next news, the scheme for remission of duties and taxes on exported products extended till 30th June. Now, this is a particular scheme that is extended till 30th June, right, 2024. So this is for phase 1. Now, what is the scheme about and why it is extended? So this scheme was launched on 1st January 2021, okay, by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Under the scheme, the exporters of the country who had paid the central, state and local duties and taxes which are not yet rebated to them and are pending. So this is a scheme for those that they should be rebated at the earliest to increase our exports, to support our exporters. It is very necessary, because if our exporters have an environment in the economy that is feasible for them and they are served at the priority basis, then it will be good for the country. So a support of 27,018 crores have been extended for how much time? Till 31st March 2023. This you can remember for phase 1. Now this scheme is of a budgetary framework under which rupees 15,070 crore is available to support 10610 HS lines at the 8-digit level. Now what is this term? It is important to understand the term if you want to understand the reason of the news and if you want to memorize it. So this is an 8-digit code. This is an 8-digit code which is unique, and this code is given to the product in letters or numbers so that it makes for the government easier to charge GST on that product. Okay, so under the classification and corresponding to that product, an 8-digit code is provided so that the charges can be made at those products in a smoother way. Basically it is a number. You can in simple language, it is a number of a product, that what tax rate should be chargeable at that particular product. Okay, that is what we call HS lines. Coming on to the next news, South-South Knowledge Sharing Series by World Bank. All clear? Okay. So this is important. It is very important to remember the theme of any international conferences, conclaves or any meeting that has been held up. Okay, so the digital public infrastructure, the India story, explaining India's journey in adopting digital payment infrastructures and how they have positively impacted the lives of people. So as I've told you in the last class, that many organizations like International Monetary Fund, our World Bank, World Economic Forum, on the sidelines of G20 are applauding India for their payment infrastructure, especially the Unified Payment Interface, that is UPI, and Aadhaar enabled payment systems, BHIM UPI, that all we have, and biometric account opening. So India has achieved a very remarkable growth under the digital economy. So this is on the sideline of this. Now what is South-South sharing? That this meant to strengthen developing countries' voice and their bargaining power. See, any international organization that is meant like South-South and Asia Pacific and ASEAN, so these are made to so that their voice can be strengthened, that they can bargain at the global level. So that's why various conferences and like ASEANs, they come together and they make their position better so that they can be heard, their challenges can be met, and they can find the solutions to the problem at the global level. Okay. So as I told you, this event was also centered around digital public infrastructure. See, many news under PIB is majorly focusing on digital payment infrastructure. So please, I request you all not to miss any scheme, any PIB news that is based on India's economy, digital economic growth, that is related to green hydrogen and which is related to the targets. Okay, because these are very important looking at the current scenario on the sidelines of G20. Okay. Any news which is repeated one after another in one way or another, like green hydrogen, then global biofuel, all are talking about the green technology. So everything related to green technology becomes important. Next is CBDT notifies changes to Rule 11 UA in respect of angel tax. Now what is angel tax? Any non-resident when invest its money in any enterprise in India which is a startup, so the excess money that is above the fair market value attracts a charge, that is in angel tax. Let me tell you what is. See, fair market value. This is a news which is related to basically accounting and changes made to the accounting practices on the theme of angel tax, which was in budget also, and tax has been raised to 30.6% approximately. So this is around that. Fair market value is that value, like if you go in a market, what is the to sell your particular share, then at what price it can be sold, that is what we call the fair market value, that is equal to reasonable price. Reasonable price is what we call fair market value. Now what government is saying, that if any non-resident investor, like there is a company XYZ, the fair market value of the share of XYZ is 100. And this investor is purchasing the security at rupees 120. So there is excess of rupees 20 multiplied by the number of securities or shares. So this investor, this non-resident investor, purchased the share of this company at a price higher than the fair market value. So this attracts a angel tax that is charged at 30.6% approximately. This is approximate, okay, not accurate actual value. Approximate is 30.6%. Now what is done here? Now what this change says, that under section 56 subsection 2 clause 7b under the Income Tax Act 1961, what it says, that any value while issuing the share exceeds the fair market value will be charged under the head of income from other sources. What is income from other sources? If a company's core activity is manufacturing jams, say, so any earning apart from the operating activity, that is manufacturing jam, is considered as income from other sources, okay, under this head. So this is a head where we will put this excess income. Now what 11 UA changes has been made to 11 UA. 11 UA suggest the methods, like what are the methods for calculating the fair market value. Earlier there were only two methods, that was discounted cash flow and net asset value. Discounted cash flow and net asset value method. Now what is this method? See, discounted cash flow. If I give you two options, like say I will give you option that I can give you rupees 100 now, and another option that I will give you rupees 104 after 1 year. So which option you will prefer? See Manish, PIB will come not in two parts, like you will get one PDF. I have segregated news in that one PDF only. First few parts is for phase 2 as well as phase 1 also, and in second part this is one-liners for phase 1, that is exercise involved of defense. That is not important for phase 2 na. So I have made it easier for you that you can go through for from phase 1 news very quickly. Okay, that's why I have just split the parts in one PDF only. That PDF is for both. G20 is important for your entire phase 1 and 2 because some static part is for phase 1 and the ambition and target and what is the target of the economy is important for phase 2, as well as the schemes involved in G20 that PM Modi have lauded at this platform. Okay. Karthik says 104. So Karthik, like I will choose 100. Why? Because even if I take 100 now and FD rate is 7% per annum. After 1 year I will get 107 and you will get only 104, right? है ना? So from here to here, this is the future value. This is what? Future value, and this is the present value. So this is the opposite of compounding. Like when we go from future value to present value, this is called discounting cash flow. This is opposite of compound interest. Okay. I hope you got this method. Next is net asset value. This is simple. Net asset value is total assets of a company minus total liabilities. See, you have to remember the method. So don't go into too much detail. You cannot mug up the name. So I am just telling you so that it will fit in your mind that what was the method, and 5 new methods were introduced apart from these two. Okay. So this is total asset minus total liabilities. Now what changes have been made? That 5 new methods have been included under Rule 11A for calculating the fair market value. So number 1 is comparable company multiple method. So in this method there will be two companies, say X and Y. So both are of different sizes, they follow different accounting practices, they are of different nature, so they cannot be comparable. Okay, in comparable method the size of the company X and Y should be same, that both should be either a super firm or should be a startup or should be a middle firm. Okay, you cannot compare a startup with a big 4 firms like KPMG, A&Y and all. ठीक है, तो उनका जो अकाउंटिंग प्रैक्टिस होना चाहिए वो भी सिमिलर होना चाहिए, उनका नेचर ऑफ एक्टिविटी भी सिमिलर होना चाहिए. You cannot compare a technological firm with a grocery firm, right? So their nature should be similar. And when we compare these two companies with similar size, similar nature, similar accounting practices, then this is called comparable company multiple method, and we can come to the fair market value of the security. Second is probability weighted expected return method. Under this method, what will be the future outcomes of the company? Like what can be expected from the company to do in the coming few years? A weightage is given to those particular incidences or to do as particular opportunities, and a fair market value is calculated based on future outcomes. Okay. So third is option pricing method. Under option pricing method, what has been done? Option pricing method. In option pricing method, a value is given to the option contract. Now what is option contract? Suppose there are two parties, a buyer and a seller. In option contract, the purchaser of the asset has given a right. It is just a right. It is not an obligation to purchase a particular asset or to sell a particular asset on a future date at a price decided now. So he can sell that particular asset at a future date with a price determined now. This is what we call option contracts. Option contracts. So a value is estimated through these contracts. A value is given, like a probability is given to these contracts, like whether they can be converted into money or not, and a fair market value has been estimated using this. Okay. Everything is clear till now? Are you getting what I am telling about the methods? At least a brief idea so that you can remember what 5 methods are included. Now next method is milestone analysis method. Milestone analysis method is a method in which, yes ma'am, all clear, okay, good. So milestone analysis method is a method in which it is similar to probability weighted, like what say there is a project and what is the estimated date on which that project can be completed. If the current level of progress is going smooth, like they think that project will be completed in time, and then after looking at the progress of that particular project, whether it will be completed on time or not, a fair market value is given. Like it is a kind of progress report, based on which fair market value is given. Okay. Next is replacement. This one is fourth. Next is replacement method. Replacement cost method is a method for incremental production. Like in past, if the company X manufacture a good at a cost of ₹10, and now they can manufacture it at a cost of ₹20 based on increase in prices of the raw materials and other factors. So incremental cost is ₹10. Okay. So this incremental cost method is used in assessing the fair market value. That's why it is called replacement method. Like what will be the addition amount that can be added to the earlier amount, so a unit can be produced. This is called replacement method. Like what addition money is used for producing an additional unit of the product. Where any consideration is received for issue of shares from any non-resident entity. See, there is an exception to this rule. If any foreign non-resident is backed up by a entity like bank and any government supported entities there, this rule will not be applicable to those. Okay, so do remember this. This is not applicable to any entity which is notified by the central government or any banking unit, okay, which is supported by the government to consider a fair market value. Coming on to the next part. To the extent of consideration from such does not exceed the excess received from the notified entity. So they are saying that any the fair market value which does not exceed the consideration, aggregated consideration, can be taken into account and there will be no change. Okay, they can take it as fair market value. There will be no need to change the method to assess the fair market value if they are the central government supported or banking unit. Okay, the consideration has been received by the company from the notified entity within a period of 90 days. See what this says, that if there is a company ABC, and it issued a fair market value security based on fair market value, and value of share is ₹500. Now a window is given under this change, that is of 90 days. 90 days window is given, in which a fair market value, if not exceeding ₹500, then there is no need to change the method. So if any upcoming project is there within a window of 90 days for any company, and the fair market value does not exceed the previous market value, then it can be taken into consideration without changing the method. Okay. Now price matching for resident and non-resident investors would be available with reference to investment by venture capital funds. Venture capital funds are the venture capital investors are those investors who invest in new companies, and which is like a seed capital investment. Okay, they invest in new companies. So price matching is done for resident and non-resident here. Now valuation method for calculating the fair market value of compulsorily convertible preference share have also been provided. So a method has also been provided for CCPS, which means that any individual can convert his preference share into equity share. Okay, there is a difference, you all know. There is a difference between preference share and equity share. So if an individual change their preference share into equity share after a specific date, then there is a different method which is given in the changes here. A safe harbor of 10% variation. So if there is a variation of 10% or less, the old fair market value can be considered. Okay. Everything is clear till now? Yes, it will take place, Manish. Okay. Yes, it's all clear. Okay. Coming on to the next news. Claims of more than 10,000 MSMEs accepted under Vivad Se Vishwas 1 scheme since launch. So government here is telling that more than 10,000 MSMEs accepted the Vishwas Se Vivad scheme. What is this scheme about? Now see again. This is a type of a news where it is important, that fact is important for phase 1 and scheme is important for phase 2 as well as for phase 1. So this scheme has led a grant of more than 256 crore to MSMEs. Highest relief under this scheme, जो scheme के अंडर अभी तक highest relief है, वो कौन सी मिनिस्ट्री ने दिया है? मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पेट्रोलियम एंड नेचुरल गैस. ओके. सेकेंड, फर्स्ट तो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पेट्रोलियम एंड नेचुरल गैस ने दिया है. सेकेंड, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रेलवेज. ओके. थर्ड इज मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस and Ministry of Steel is 4th and Ministry of Power is 5th. So you have to remember that which ministry has given the highest relief, that is Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas under this scheme. Now some details about Vivad Se Vishwas 1 relief for MSME. See, this scheme was announced by Union Finance Minister in this budget, and this was a relief given to MSMEs during the COVID-19 pandemic period. Okay, so the scheme was launched by Ministry of Finance through GEM portal on this date, that is 17 April 2023. Vivad Se Vishwas scheme was launched by Union Finance Minister in 2020. The scheme was originally launched in 2020 and the pandemic relief is announced in this year's budget. So scheme was released to decrease the unsettled income tax court cases. So to reduce the burden of the cases that are pending, that is related to tax, and so to settle the claims fast, this government has introduced this scheme for various cases. See, Direct Tax Vivad Se Vishwas Act was also passed on 17 March 2020. And you don't have to remember anything about this, but what is this act about? That is focuses on terminating the legal action and debates under the taxation category. So it has power to terminate the legal action against in the debates under this category, that is taxation, as the scheme is about. Next is 31st meeting of the Northern Zonal Council. This is also important for phase 1. Addition, important. Where it is held, where it was held, Amritsar, Punjab, important. So Northern Zonal Councils comprises of how many states? The states included in this council is Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Rajasthan, Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and Government of NCT of Delhi. So all these are included in Northern Zonal Council. See, we have council for every direction, like we have East Zonal Council, Southern Zonal Council, West Zonal Council, and like similar path we have North Zonal Council. Now why North Zonal Council is important? Because in this council it has been addressed that most of our army forces like CAPS and Indian Army, they come for the northern zone of our country, and maximum production of wheat is from this area only, and there is 21% of land in the northern zone, 13% population covers under the northern zone, and 35% food grains come from this region. So this makes this council very important, because these states come together and discuss the challenges that can be addressed and what steps should be taken to minimize the problems that are being faced in this region. Okay, so edition 31st held at Amritsar, Punjab. Remember the states, and this is a data which is for understanding. This data will not come, but the place and edition is very important, and the states. Next is sanitation booth by Chandigarh. Chandigarh inaugurated a state-of-the-art sanitation booth in the village. ये कहाँ पे किया है? ओपन किया इन्होंने सारंगपुर, चंडीगढ़, अंडर द स्वच्छता पखवाड़ा कैंपेन. So Chandigarh government realized that our sanitation workers work tirelessly day and night, and they don't have the basic facilities, like they don't have area to sit and rest, they don't have proper sanitation facilities, they don't have a place to sit in winters, they don't have fans, ACs, and they are working tirelessly. So they thought about their problem and they launched a sanitation booth at where? Sarangpur, Chandigarh, under the Swachhta Bharat Pakhwada campaign, in which, as I've told you in the last class, 1 hour of Shramdan for Swachhta at 10 AM on 1st October by all citizens collectively. So this booth offers, as I told you, shelter from extreme weather conditions, shielding them from harsh sunlight, biting cold winters. So keeping in mind that Safai Mitras should also have been given the right to stay in comfort zone in harsh weather, and they should be given the basic facilities while working. So this sanitation booth has been launched in Chandigarh. Any query till now? There are also cliches about Indo-Pak and Indo-China problem. No ma'am. Okay. See, this problem, Kartik, as we don't have time, so we will study only relevant data that is in PIB news. Okay. We cannot discuss the news which is not relevant yet and not in the PIB news till now. Okay, everything which is given in PIB, and I think is there is need to give some extra information over that topic. I will discuss it here. Last news, and then we will wind up, and there will be second part of the session that I will take soon. Okay, last news is Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar National Award. This is also for phase 1. Okay, this is also for phase 1. The purpose of the award is to recognize the outstanding Indian work in the field of science and technology. What is the special about this award? First, it was awarded in 1958, and this is on the 82nd Foundation Day of the Council of Scientists and Industrial Research and Foundation. This award is given to the eminent scientists of the country for any creative research in the field of science and technology, and there is an age limit that the scientist should be below the age of 45. This function was at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. So this was held at New Delhi on the 82nd Foundation Day of CSIR, and the award is given to the scientist below the age of 45. Okay. So any queries still here? See, if no queries is there, so ma'am, please make a video on G20 which will be important for phase 1. Okay. Okay, if I'll get time, first you cover the important things first. Everything about G20 is covered first in PIB and government schemes that are also updated. So no need to cover it separately, but just for the revision, if we'll get time, I will definitely make a revision class for G20. Okay. So next session, we'll do the rest of the news. So I'll take your leave here. Okay. Okay, take care. We'll take the next class soon. Okay, bye bye.